Hi everyone, welcome to the 9th episode of Alumni Speaks, and this episode is a bit special because we have our alumni Majid with us, and I would like to tell everyone that who joined us for the session that Majid has been recently appointed as the Offshore Director at MERKLE DWA. So Majid, welcome to the show, and I'm really glad to have you here. So I would like you to introduce yourself.
Okay, so hey, hi everyone. So I'm like 2013-2016 PGMC graduate of Jammu Lake City University, and as mentioned by Zoya, like I'm currently working as an offshore director with MERKLE DWA. So like to give you all a perspective, so like we were the very first batch of Jammu Lake City University. So yeah, in a sense, like we are a special batch, and we have been very close to university. And talking about from like personal point of view, so I'm currently based out of Bangalore, and yeah, that's all about me.
Okay. So, Mazid, so as the title suggests for this show today, how do you define global professional?
Okay, so like global professional is a very interesting word. Like if you look at it from like from an exact meaning point of view, a global professional is someone who is like working with a very large corporation and preferably outside of Indian market. But because in the last 30 years we have seen like we have moved a lot toward globalization. So like even while sitting in a room, you could work on a global space, global portal, and you could still be a global professional. So global, like when we say global professional, it's not just working with an MNC or out of their offshore office, but it's more from point of view like you're working on a global project, handling global clients, or maybe any global task that you're working on.
Yeah, of course. So, like I would the first question and the title would be like just describe your journey, from being a JLU alumni to now being a global professional at MERKLE DWA. How has it been so far?
Sure. So I will probably start after the college, and as we move towards in discussion, I will speak about college life as well. So like I graduated in 2016, as I mentioned, like we were the very first batch of very first bachelor's degree batch, and post that like even like when I was in college, I was like I was looking for like what career to make. So initially I was very much inclined toward journalism, and at that point of time, a few of my seniors, especially with Ashish Nag and Himanshu Previ, so they were exploring in digital marketing. And when I say seniors, they were like they were the students of masters in marketing communication batch. So they were doing digital marketing internship, and it was with Ogilvy of the world and all. At that point of time, like because we had a very good relationship with our seniors as well as overall college faculties, I used to like talk to them, understand them what could be a really good career for me, what would be the best option for me. So at that point of time, I got to know about digital marketing, and that was the moment when I got to know, okay, digital is the future, and this is where I want to pursue a career in. So with the help of one of my seniors, he suggested me for an internship. He actually recommended me for an internship in digital marketing, and I did a 2-month internship in Mumbai. Post that, I was very clear that I have to make a career in digital marketing itself. So when I was graduating, I applied to a few of the organizations, including few media houses, digital marketing firms, research agencies, etc. And I got a job at Interactive Avenues, which is a digital marketing firm, apart from 2 more offers in hand. But because Interactive Avenues offer was into digital marketing, so I joined that firm in 2016. And I joined them as a management trainee. And again, at that point of time, I was like, I was just 22, and I was their youngest employee at that point. And joining in 2016 to 2021, I have worked with them for a good 5 years. I've been like in these 5 years, I've climbed the corporate ladder. Like I become from management trainee to account executive to senior account executive to account manager to senior account manager. In the very recent role, I was working with them as a senior account manager. And not just designation wise, but also work wise. So I joined them as an ORM professional. I was doing online reputation management. This is primarily responding to people queries on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. But I believe I gave my best. They recognized my effort, and that they let me move into the domains like from ORM to social analytics to media planning and client servicing.
Yeah.
And in the very recent role at Interactive Avenues, I was working as a senior manager, handling media planning and client servicing for two of the major clients of ours. So one was Titan. So Titan is a very prestigious client because it's from House of Tata. And the second account was ExxonMobil. So again, ExxonMobil was the global client of ours. So when I say global client, so Interactive Avenues is a part of IPG group. So IPG is like big four in the advertising space. And Interactive Avenues is their is their concern firm, and they lead the digital media in the Indian subcontinent. So I was handling ExxonMobil's digital media mandate for the Indian market. So that was my role at Interactive Avenues. Last month itself, I got the opportunity at MERKLE DWA, and I have joined them as an offshore director. Now my role has evolved from execution to management. So now I would be leading the offshore team at MERKLE DWA. So how it works at MERKLE is they have multiple clients based out of multiple locations across the world, and they have regional teams sitting out of those offices. Those offices coordinating with client. So what they do is they coordinate with the client, and all the requirement which is being done by the like all the requirements is being done by the India office. So I lead the overall operations for Indian office. So like I work with those regional teams, get the requirement from them, and get the task from the team members of offshore team members of the India office. So yeah, that's a brief understanding about like my journey in the digital marketing space since graduation.
So like, you have very well explained your journey from like, when you were 22 years old, how you started from the execution level, and now you're at the managerial position, and now working with such big clientele that you have. Yeah. Majid, like as you have described this entire journey, so when you got offered this role, as an offshore director, what was your first reaction? And like, did you think that, okay, it's a very big position? Because I read in the description that you have to directly report to the, like, Indian head of MERKLE DWA. Yeah, so yeah. How did you take it? How did you process it? What was it like?
Like I'll accept that I was a bit nervous. I was not very much sure. Like, so this role is really big. Like we have only for execution itself, so we have 25-member teams.
Yeah.
And it's been a month. I'm still getting into the core of it, understanding what all like requirements has to be made apart from just from like not just the task delivery, but also other functions that I have to look into. So I'm still looking into. So that's why I'm very nervous initially. But before taking this offer, I again reached out to my seniors, my mentors, seniors from college, mentors from current organization. I spoke to them. Okay, so see, this is what the offer like I have got, and they very much guided me. Okay, that saying that Majid, like we have known you since years, and we know that you can do it. So yeah. Again, like one of my senior, I remember like there was an incident in college. So I was having a discussion with my senior. So he just brought that thing up. Look, so we have to work on a project during college, and that project was to be done in association with both the bachelor's student as well as the master's student. So student from master's batch, they were made lead, and we were asked to work under them. So one day we were coming from college, we were in bus. So I went to that senior. I was like, okay, भैया इसमें क्या करना? So he was like, कुछ नहीं, हमको बस अपना बस देना है. So like बस तो हम है, अब बाकी आगे बताओ क्या करना है. So again that conversation came up and he was like, "Bas to tum hui, and you can do it. Just go for it." I was like, "Okay, whatever decision I have taken personally as well as professionally,
Yeah,
it has been proven good in the longer run." So
of
just took it.
course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there must be like, the entire phase, like, from starting from the execution level to the managerial position, and hopefully, in the future,
Yeah.
it looks really bright. So, of course, it has been a very long journey of struggle, of sleepless nights, of like, constant efforts, and it's more like in the global profession. I read it somewhere that English could be a barrier, right? Communication. So how true is that? I mean, somebody, if I have to say, if somebody does not have that kind of command over the language of English, do you think that person doesn't have a scope of entering into the professional world, the global professional world?
See, that's a very dicey question, I would say. See, like
Okay.
being a communication student,
Yeah.
so I will very much understand the importance of communication
Of
and the
course.
importance of language as well. But if I talk from an Indian perspective, from a day-to-day office work, English may not be a barrier of that kind. You can
Yeah.
still make it work out. But if you work in an international context, especially like because even during my previous stint, we were working very closely with the Singapore office, and he had team members from multiple nationals, like nations who do not have any understanding of any Indian language apart from English. The only thing that could have that can connect us was English. And even in the current role, I work very closely with the Australia, New Zealand team and the US team.
Yeah.
So even in that case, English is the language which can connect us very well. So I would say that from an Indian perspective, you can still make it work out without English. But if you have to get into a global context, or you are aspiring to be a global professional, you have to get to a command over English. I'm not saying like have a really good English and like having like a very high level of GMAT level English and all, but you should be able to communicate yourself very freely and very well.
I,
And
I
people
agree. I agree. Because you know what, Majid, like that is my personal opinion.
yeah.
So when we talk about the English language, right? More than the language, I think it is very important for us to express and to communicate well our idea. When you say comprehension is the key, not the communication. So I think that may not be the barrier, and you have explained it to me very well. Like except for people coming from different countries, I think it shouldn't be a barrier, right? If working in an Indian environment.
Yeah,
So, which
yeah.
brings me to my next question: is how do you balance your work and personal life?
Okay, so like it has been really tough. So especially in the starting of my career, because my complete focus was on work as well as professional life. So I will accept it that like even after graduating from college for a good 1 year, I was I was still unable to get over of my college life, because in college life it was very much sorted. I had to wake up some time, go to college, come to home, then have ample of time for myself. But when I went to job, it was like a uh, uh, 10 to 6 job, which used to extend till 7 and 8 every day, almost every day. And that too, like because that too in a case when I was previously in Bhopal and then moved to Delhi, had to travel 1.5 hours every day from one side to reach to office and then come back to home. So it was very tough for me, and due to that reason, I had missed out multiple calls in morning, multiple deadlines which need to be submitted to next morning. But with time you get used to it. You will take
Of
like
course.
I would definitely say that once you get to know the system completely, and once you start understanding, like you are not just you're not just one of the employees or not just one of the resources working at an organization, but you are a part of well-oiled machinery. And
Yes.
without you or without any professional like working closely with you, the system is not going to work. So when you get that kind of responsibility within you, you're definitely gonna manage.
Okay. So, Majid, who do you look up to when it comes to mentorship? When it comes to being a leader, who do you look up to?
Okay, so in that case, see, like in that case, I would say like Elon Musk is someone whom I look from an aspiration point of view.
I think that's very trending also.
Yeah. No, like I have my reason for like to choose for Elon Musk, because I believe like he's just a, like, see, I've seen other very successful entrepreneur across multiple categories, and they have been living it like an entrepreneur, like as a billionaire. But like this guy personally, like he sold out his everything. Very recently, I read that news that he has sold off his home, and he has moved to some $50,000 mini home that his company builds for other people. Apart from that, what I have noticed, what I admire him for is that he's like he see a problem and try to find a solution for it. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's why like he's one of my inspiration.
Okay, so first of all, he's your mentor, your inspiration, and second, he's very trending also. So noted. Okay, so tell us about a very funny memory that you have from JLU.
Okay, so I would say like I had a very good relation with all of my teachers. And when I say all of my teachers, as in not just the teachers from School of Journalism, Mass Communication, but other schools also. So Vinay Joshi sir, be it Vinay Joshi sir, be it Vivek Khare sir, be it a lot of other professors and teachers who now have left left JLU. So I've been in touch, like I've been like I had really great relationship with all of them, and like once I remember till last year I used to visit college once every year. I used to go to Bhopal and meet college and meet all of them. So, but like if I have to speak about someone, then it's definitely Divakar Shukla sir. So he was director in the last year. Last year he joined us as an director of the department, and I share a very good bond with him even after like graduating college. I've been in touch with him till date now. And whenever I make any career move, I reach out to him. I tell him, okay, sir, okay, so this is what offer I've got. I'm planning to consider. So one of the interesting thing I remember is it was time of graduation. So Divakar, I remember like I applied to few of the places. Divakar sir was also as in when I say Divakar sir, as in department was also arranging placements for us. We had a few interviews lined up, and I had one interview in the past as well inside the campus. So I got selected. So I applied to multiple places. So I got selected for UNI, that is United News of India. It was a pure journalism media, as in it was a media agency, news agency. Then the second one was Interactive Avenues, which was my last employer. And third, I also applied to a research firm, as in I got a fellowship with Institute for Human Settlements, Bangalore. And I was very happy that I had all three offers in hand. They all of these had multiple like their own benefit, their own compensation part, etc. So once everything got over in college, we submitted our dissertation and all. So I took train and I was traveling back to my hometown. So I think I put a post on Facebook mentioning that like I'm really excited that I got these three offers, and I'm not very much sure which one to join. So I was and I remember after 2 hours, I believe I got a call from Divakar sir himself, and he was like, "Hey, Arre, what are you doing? It's an interactive, it's an IPG media brand. Why are you even thinking about other things?"
I know his reactions. Yeah.
So I was like, मेरे को नहीं पता था honestly कि Interactive Avenues is part of IPG, and it's that big of a firm. Because one of my seniors, he shared the email ID of HR. I just contacted. I didn't even saw about company, as in what is its background and all. So that's all like, kya kar raha hai? IPG, it's part of IPG media, but select that. I was like, and then he was not just like select it. He was like, you want to pursue career digital marketing, right?
Yeah.
So go for it. Then I was like, okay. I was like, okay, and don't post this kind of stuff on social. Okay, people must be monitoring you.
I know. And he has a very funny way of like giving out advice and handling the students. so you can just say, or give out a message. So like, we play it on Teachers Day. Divakar sir. Yeah. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what, like, so that's the moment I got to know, like, where I moving into in my professional world. So and what happened, like, just after a minute my phone got switched off.
Yeah.
And I thought that, okay, so I should not post those kind of, I should delete it. So मैं तुरंत गया, phone charge कर रहा हूँ, जल्दी चार्ज उस post को delete करूँ मैं. So that was very funny incident that happened at that point of time.
And I'm sure, I mean, they're just not one memory. Obviously, if I have to ask you, so it would be very difficult for you to just pick out the best one, because there are very small moments throughout our college life we go through. So which brings me to the last question of the session, that what is that one piece of advice that you have for all the budding entrepreneurs, the students of JLU, and everyone who's watching this? What is that one message that you would want to give out on the note if they want to achieve something, okay, when it comes to global professional world and otherwise as well?
Okay, so in that case, I would suggest a student, the upcoming student or budding entrepreneurs, etc., that be flexible in life. Don't be rigid on anything. So if I look at my journey from school life to till date, so I'm just bringing this thing here. So I was an engineering student, and after a year, I left engineering to join JLU to pursue a career in journalism and mass communication. So I was like, okay, so like after even before completing a year, I was like, okay, so this isn't something I want to do, and I want to pursue a course that I want to, because social science was one of the subjects in which I was really interested. So at that point, instead of just being rigid on something that ki, chalo maine 1 saal kar liya to complete kar, I went into journalism mass communication. Then again, in these 3 years in college, I tried to explore more and more things. I didn't restricted myself to journalism, to only journalism per se. Even in that case, like, I had two internships in news itself. But even like when I got into final year, when I explored something new, so again I was like, okay, so this is something that can be done. And again, like when I moved into the professional world, I was not just I didn't only stick to one of the domain, but I explored more and more things. So like when you get into more and more things, when you experience more and more things, you get a clarity for a bit of time that what do you want to do in life. So yeah, that is one of the things that I would suggest everyone: be flexible, see everything, judge everything, and then take a call.
Very well said, Majid. And it was a wonderful session. I think in very few questions, I've not said this to a lot of people, but then honestly, with very few questions, you have given us very elaborate but very well detailed answers. Okay. And it has been wonderful having you on this session, and we are hoping once everything gets normal, we'll see you on the campus as well, to host you and talk more about your success, celebrated together. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everyone who joined us for the session today. Thank you, Mazid. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you, sir.